I'm Alvin, I'm a tasty producer, and I made a giant 30-pound burger. It was kind of a crazy thing because it required me to think about all the components such as the bun, the burger, and the cheese. And the first thing I did was think about how do I tackle the bun? I settled on a pretty standard brioche recipe, but the tricky thing was that we had to multiply it by like 10. Essentially just added a lot of eggs, butter, and water into a mixing bowl. This was actually multiplied so much that it was supposed to make like a giant brioche loaf. And usually with brioche, you cut it up and then you eat it. But for this one, you just roll it up and you bake it off as the whole thing. It was actually really fun. I've never made brioche before, so this was a cool experience, but what was super awesome about this one was that I was able to just play with the dough. It was just so soft, it was super elastic, and I just wanted to kind of hold it forever because it was like holding a newborn baby. And I think when my kid grows up, I don't want him to grow up because I want him to feel like that for a long time. I expected it to expand a lot, and we just kind of DIY this foil ring and kind of had that the size of the hamburger bun. So it was kind of nice to have like a finished, almost biscuit-like looking brioche. So after cutting it in half, it was pretty awesome. We buttered it just because I don't think you want a burger that doesn't have a toasted bun. And then we approached the meat. So the meat was pretty interesting because it was essentially 2 giant patties. I didn't want to do one super thick patty because I don't think you can really eat it. And I really was inspired by a lot of the smash burger style burgers we've seen out there. So I wanted to do 2 thin patties, and that required me to pretty much go to the grocery store and go to the ground beef section and essentially clean it out. Definitely got a lot of weird looks. Some old lady was super nice. She was really cute. She was like, "Oh, young man, you must be a growing boy." And I was like, yeah, sure. And she was like, "Oh, I have a son, and he used to eat just like you." And I was like, if he ate like this, I'm a little worried about that. So, it could have been pretty easy to just throw a bunch of like cheese slices on the burger. I didn't really want to play that game. I kind of mixed together, American cheese slices, chopped it up, mixed it with, another cheese that I really like, which is cheddar, because I wanted the flavor and I think cheddar tastes really good. So I melted them together and kind of created like this cheese concoction mixture, which was really satisfying, by the way. But I was like cutting cheese for like 20 minutes because there was so much cheese that went into this. It was like 40 blocks. After that, just made, I was like, hey, if you spread it on a tray in a square shape and you trim it, will you end up with a square of cheese? We got a nice firm American slice. I was like, oh wow, this actually turned out pretty well. Assembly was really tricky because usually when you're assembling a burger, you don't think about how heavy everything weighs. It was like 3 whole tomatoes and 2 containers of lettuce to fill that burger up. It was just a lot of stuff all around. I pretty much only had 1 attempt. I was really happy with it because when you are doing it and you're so up close with it, it doesn't look like much, but when you step back and look at it in its entirety. After that, obviously I had to make some of that burger secret sauce that you spread on the bun. It's really simple: mayo, ketchup, and mustard, and a little bit of pickle juice. I really enjoyed making this one. It was just a really fun adventure. I thought it looked beautiful and was able to surprise my good friend Victor with it, and he was super crazy about it. And that is the adventure of the 30-pound burger.
I'm Alexis, and I'm going to make a classic diner-style burger with pickled red onions and homemade aioli. To make the pickled red onions, I'm going to bring apple cider vinegar, sugar, and salt to a boil, remove it from the heat, add the onions, and let it sit for an hour at room temperature. While the onions are pickling, I'm going to make my aioli. You add an egg yolk, Dijon mustard, garlic, whisk them together, and then I'm slowly going to add the olive oil until it begins to emulsify. And at the end, it should be thick and creamy. Once you add the lemon juice, the aioli will become paler in color. Salt to taste. Aioli will keep up to 2 days in the fridge, but after that you want to throw it away. I'm going to butter the buns with melted butter and then put them under the broiler for 1.5 minutes so they just get a little toasted. For diner style burgers, you just want to take about a 4-ounce piece of ground beef, roughly shape it into a mound. Think like a glorified meatball. I'm seasoning the meat with salt and pepper, and then I'm going to get the cast iron really hot, a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to add the meat mounds and then immediately smash it down with a spatula. Diner style patties cook really quickly. It should be about 2 to 3 minutes on this side. As soon as I flip the burger, I'm adding the cheddar cheese. By the time the cheddar cheese has melted, the burger should be done cooking. It's got the perfect combination of pickles from the red onions, it's got that creamy aioli to go with the really juicy meat, and then melted cheese. A thin diner style patty is classic, all American, and it's really easy to make at home. I just made my dream burger.